What is up, guys? My name is Jake Checkoway, and I'm going to be taking you inside the mix of Origami Angel's Somewhere City. This song is called The Air Up Here, and it is the last song on the album. I'm pretty excited because I haven't opened this session in a while, but I figured I would take a look at it and see what we can all learn. So let me play the intro of the song real quick, and we'll just get a feel for that first part of the song. Alright, so nothing too crazy there, but we got some jangly guitars. We got not a lot going on the mix, really. These are the guitars soloed out real quick. You can see I'm doing like a little dip on the high mids up here on Pro Q2, and then I'm using Slate Digital, just like electric guitar 1 preset, and then I'm just adjusting this threshold here. And usually I turn down the brightness on this because it's like too much when you turn it on, but it's usually where I start from on some guitars. Let's see what else is going on here. The bass is actually pretty quiet in the mix. Alright, so taking a look at the drums here. I'm blending in a couple drum samples on this whole album, which is pretty much just a little Slate Digital trigger. I got the kick 10 preset, which is just a simple trigger, and using that, just turning up the velocity here. And then I'm using a different snare trigger over here. So if I play the drums without the triggers, you can tell there's like a bit of phasiness going on with the bleed from the hi-hat. But let me just turn off the delay compensation because that affects it. But this is what the drums sound like, not sampled. So just adding a little extra punch there, and throughout the song pretty much, just keeping it consistent on the hits. Just gonna turn that back on real quick. Alright, we'll keep it moving. Listen to the first verse a little bit.
But I thought that I should say that I'm so sorry for the worry I've been causing you. I swear I didn't mean a thing, but I've been doing pretty swell. Been living like a king, been cool with everything. Been thinking that it's about that time that I should let you know I'm never gonna come back home again. I'm never gonna feel that.
Alright, so you can see like the vocal is just one track. Like these are just some extra takes I have down here, but the vocal is just one track up until when the chorus comes in, and when the chorus comes in, there's a double coming in of the same vocal part. So when that comes in, it sounds like this.
No, I'm never gonna come back home again. I'm never gonna feel that low again. It's nothing that you ever did wrong. It's just I found a place to call home. I'm finally somewhere that I have to be, where I've been living peacefully and happily. It's a paradise out of a catastrophe, and I feel worth.
Just jumping into the vocal sound a little bit, what I like to usually use is this Butch Vig Waves plugin. It's actually a really nice sounding plugin. So I usually use that, and I just adjust the gain reduction to be like around 10 at the max, but I definitely use a lot of gain reduction on this plugin because it actually sounds pretty good.
So
you'll see it's hitting
I'm never
like
gonna
10
come
right
back
here.
home again. I'm never gonna feel that low again.
And I'm blending this Manny Marroquin distortion on, which has like a nice little distortion blend knob right here, which I like. And just like a little treble mid control, which is also nice.
You know, I'm never gonna come back home again. I'm never gonna feel that low again. It's nothing that you ever did wrong. It's just I found a place to call home. I'm finally somewhere that I have to be, where I've been living peacefully and happily. It's a paradise out of a catastrophe, and I feel worthwhile now, 'cause the city never lets me down.
Another thing about the drums in this song and like most of these songs on the album is I like to cut out the tom bleed on the drums, so you can see it's just kind of stripped down on the tom track to where there's nothing on the track besides when the tom hits come in, so we'll see that.
Just know that you'll never be alone. There's places you can go. There's people you should know.
So yeah, these guitars are just really simple, like doubled guitars, just panned left and right. And I'm just literally cutting out a little bit of that harshness and a little bit of compression on them just to cut down on the peaks.
And broken and lonely, just know that you'll never be alone. There's places you can go. There's people you should know. You don't have to do anything or be anyone, just all you need to do is go.
So you'll see my drum bus has this SSL compression on it. I actually really like this compressor. This is pretty nice for your drum bus. Definitely try it out. So towards the end of this song, there's a big reprise part, which I kind of want to go into a little bit on the vocals and some of the extra layers and stuff because it's really sick. But the way we track this is just by doing one part at a time, and then we copied it over and over, like for most parts. So let's start off and see how it builds real quick. Let me go back a little bit. I'm skipping over some shit.
Follow the road. All you need to do is go.
Alright, so I'm cutting it off a little bit short there, but you can see like there's all these vocal parts building up. Keeps getting crazier. It's pretty epic. I kind of want to solo some of these out just so you can hear like all of them blending together. Um, it was basically pretty hard to just like get the vocal parts to stand out on their own, but I think that was the biggest challenge of the whole thing.
All you need to do is go. Coasters cost, so someday I can build a Gami Gang theme parks in my backyard. Get sponsored by NASCAR.
So it starts off just a little bit panned left and right, 35 left, 35 right. And then as it progressively builds, it kind of gets wider and wider spread across.
It shouldn't be that hard of a thing to do. Of a thing to do. Never gonna come back home. How much now? Cause it's cost, so someday I can build a Gami Gang theme park in my backyard. Get sponsored by NASCAR. It shouldn't be that hard of a thing to do. Never gonna come back home. How much now? Cause it's cost, so someday I can build a Gami Gang theme park in my backyard. It shouldn't be that hard of a thing to do. Never gonna come back home. How much now? Cause it's cost, so someday I can build a Gami Gang theme park.
Epic. Yeah, it's just a lot going on, but you basically have a whole gang vocal layered tracks on top of like a bunch of reprise layers, which is awesome. Just keeps on building, and then it just like it just cuts off right when the heavy part at the end comes in here. So I'll play that part. Just some epic, like Queen-esque vocal layers at the end here going on. I'll solo some of these out real quick.
The city never lets me down. No. Oh. The city never lets me down. No. The city never lets me down. No. Oh. The city never lets me down. No.
Pretty epic.
The city never lets me down. The city never lets me down.
A little bit of a bass boost at the end. The bass is super simple, like just a DI bass, and it's just through like a little Sans amp stock plugin. Nothing crazy. Through a distressor. My drum bus is hidden pretty hard. It's just it's mostly cause I had to turn up the snare at certain parts, so I'm like really hitting it hard for these harder parts. And then the ending just slows down a little bit with this last part here. I'll play that out.
There's just something in the air up here. There's just something in the air. You'll have to see. There's just something in the air up here.
So the main trick I'm using there is just going from a bunch of doubled like guitars. It's going from a bunch of doubled vocals to just one singular vocal and just the one guitar, and it's panned just like directly in the center instead of panned any direction. So that's like just trying to make it a lot smaller at the ending there.
There's just something in the air up here. There's just something in the air. You'll have to see.
Also, if you're curious on the vocal reverb, it's this CLA plate from Verb Suite Classics, which I really like. Just any like setting on this plugin usually sounds pretty nice. I just turn the decay like way down so that it doesn't sound too crazy. But it's a very nice sound. And yeah, it's gonna wrap it up. I'm probably gonna do some more of these. So feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like this video, if you have another song you want me to go through that I've mixed before. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Peace.